The fight between crows and owls. Once upon a time, all the crows in a town called Chinle made a huge banyan tree their home. Their king, Kazi, set up strong fortifications to ensure security for his brood. Similarly, the owls of the town made a nearby cave their colony. Their king, Horli, ruled with the help of a strong and cunning army. The Owl King kept a close eye on the banyan tree and on account of previous enmity, killed every night any crow he sighted outside the tree. Slowly, the Owl King managed to kill all crows that could be seen outside the tree. Alarmed at the loss of his flock, Kazi assembled his ministers and asked them to prepare a plan to fight the owls. After listening to all the ministers, Kazi turned to the wisest among his councils, Zion, and asked him for his advice. He told Kazi that this is the time to use duplicity to finish the enemy. Send your spies and gather information on the key men advising the king of owls. The next step is to divide them by setting one against the other. Zion then began revealing his plan. In the presence of everyone, abuse me and punish me, branding me as the friend of your enemy. That will convince the spies of our enemy that you don't trust me anymore. Bring some blood and spray it on my body. Then exile to the Senluru hills. I shall remain here bruised, and when the enemy comes, I will try to earn his mercy and trust by blaming you. You stay in the hills till I find their fort and give you a signal when all the owls are sleeping in the day. Then you come and with the help of your army, kill all the owls. On Kazi approving the plan, Zion started a mock fight with the king of crows. Kazi then pretended to attack Zion with his beak and doused him in blood he brought with him and left for the hills. Then Paritha, wife of the pretender who was spying on the crow camp, carried this news of the assault on Minister Zion and the king's departure for the hills to the Owl King, Horli. Soon after sunset, the Owl King, accompanied by his ministers and followers, set out to kill all the crows. They reached the tree, home of the crows, and surrounded it. Not finding a single crow there, and happy for that reason, meanwhile, Zion, who suffered mock injuries, began weekly mourning to attract the attention of the owls. When the owls saw this and rushed to kill him, he pleaded,
"Sir, my name is Zion, and I am a minister of Kazi, the king of crows. Before you kill me, I have something to convey to your king."
Horli came to see the minister at once and asked him the reason for his plight. Zion told him,
"Our king wanted to avenge the massacre of his subjects by your men. When I knew he was bent upon waging a war with you, I advised him not to be rash and not to go to war with you. I asked him to sign peace with you. My king thought that I was on your side and in great anger inflicted these injuries on me. As soon as I recover, I will show you where he and his men are hiding. You can destroy them."
After listening to the story, Owl King Horli accepted his advice that Zion's life should be spared, disregarding the warning of Raktaksha, his minister. The king's men set out to take Zion to the fortress. Seeing that the main obstacle in his way has disappeared and that the remaining king's men were all stupid, Zion began piling up twigs on the pretext of building a nest. He heaped them at the entrance of the cave in which the king and other owls lived. When the pile was big enough, he waited for daybreak when the owls would become blind. Then he flew off to Kazi and told him that before word could reach the enemy camp of this plan, he and his followers should accompany him, each carrying a piece of burning wood. Accordingly, Kazi and his men followed Zion, each carrying a burning twig in his beak. When they reached the entrance of the cave, which was now blocked by the pile of twigs Zion built, they threw the burning twigs on the pile, which began to burn fiercely, killing all the owls trapped inside. Then Kazi and his men returned to the kingdom and lived harmoniously. Moral: if wicked men are honored and wise men are insulted, it leads to peril.